Hi everyone, trust you're well. Welcome to Guitar Lessons Online with me, Martin Strauss. And so I'm part of the Hatfield congregation and just part of this initiative that we want to give some lessons through an online platform and help you guys out, those of you who wish to just grow in your instrument. And so this introduction, just a little bit about me. When I started, how did I start? What are some of my influences and my philosophy concerning music, and then of course the acoustic guitar. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'm excited about you growing in your skill if that's what you desire to do. So I started about the age of 12, and it was my cousin who influenced me. We went to visit them one day, and he was just playing guitar, and this really just intrigued me, and he taught me my first song. So this was around about the time where Nirvana was quite a big band, and being in primary school, kind of almost grade 7, you were very just exposed to all these kinds of music, and that was around about the time they released that album called Unplugged in New York. And so the songs were really easy, and of course the band was popular, and so it was really cool to be able to play these songs. And so that's how I started. I got back home, there was a broken guitar here which we fixed up, and I played probably the same chord or the same song for about a month, and um, I was just so amazed that I could make a sound that kind of made sense on this thing with just a piece of wood and some strings. And that's really how my journey started. And most of my learning has been just self taught experimentation and really just enjoying it. And that'll also be reflected in my approach when I teach or when I give some advice about you just growing in your skill. It's really about enjoying it and just exploring the guitar. So one of the reasons why I love the guitar so much, it's just such a diverse instrument. If you think at all the styles that accompany guitar, um, of course, there's different kinds of guitars, but think about the effects that you can do on the guitar, the different kind of tunings, the different kind of voicings with chords. It just seems like this instrument is just absolutely vast with possibilities. And so, yes, we started that band in high school, and of course, that's what you do when you're in high school. And my buddy sold his bike to buy the bass. We knew a guy who had drums, and so we put it together. Yeah, and we started, and we, of course, uh, we really sucked. But when you're young and you don't really care, just the fact that you can say you're in a band, gives you credit with your friends and so on. And yeah, we had some really good times, and of course grew a lot since then. And yeah, we actually got skilled and got better, and so sounded quite decent, and started playing in pubs and clubs and restaurants, and some parties, some private parties, some festivals, and we recorded an album. Yeah, and things got good, and yeah, we had a pretty much a good deal going, and we our band was called Hiccup, which is also another lesson. Don't call your band stuff that might happen, because our band had a bit of actually a lot of hiccups, and so we ended up just not continuing. But really, we had some good times just in that season. So around about high school, I got saved. And also a bit of a longer story, but yeah, God has been good to me ever since, just leading me on in the right way to go. And yeah, this influenced me in a way that I started playing at church, and playing really like old school worship. I come from a traditional background, so um, that was also part of my influence, just playing in church, and it was really a privilege to be able to serve in that capacity. So after school, I joined up with a performing arts company called 13th Floor, and we toured all over South Africa, and we created these um, collaboration productions and dramas of dancing and drama and music, of which I was a musician, and I was actually privileged to at one stage be the music director for the team. So that entailed that I had to record and write songs and produce songs that the dancers would choreograph their dancing to, and so that was just an amazing privilege and such a good time of my life. And yeah, so time ticked by a few years. I did some traveling, and I came back here to South Africa. Then I started studying at a place called South African Music Institute, or SAMI for short. So my guitar lecturer was a guy called Gary Pansagra, and he's just an amazing guitar player. And yeah, I got to just learn from him on a practical way of just playing your guitar. And so I guess a lot of the things that I'll be sharing with you is things that I got from him. And he's actually still giving lessons online, so you are welcome just also get my number from him or check in with him. But he's an amazing guitarist. And so yeah, I guess a lot of my philosophy around guitar is I think about music or guitar specifically in a way of language. Music is a language, a universal language. And of course, if you learn any language, you really start at the bottom and you start with just making sounds, just thinking of how a baby starts to speak, just making sounds. And of course, it doesn't make sense. You can't really relate or have a conversation. Yeah, but slowly and surely you see just one sound developing into two, into three, and before you know it, there's a word, and then that word gets another word. And that's how you can start speaking. So I'll refer back to this. I love to use this analogy just of music as a language, and it helps me think about how and why I do certain things on the guitar. I forgot to say I'm married. So yes, God's been good to me, and I've been married for 6 years now. We've got two beautiful kids, and yeah, I just love being a dad and a husband. So I just also want to say to you guys, I'll be going about some things that I think are important. I think most important, of course, is just to enjoy yourself in this process and to explore. If you don't explore, you don't grow. As a guitarist, guys. So this is my beautiful little girl Sarah. Just quickly say hello, Leafy.
Hello.
And she's also hopefully going to one day be a rock star and make some great music and sing and play. Nee. Gaan jy mooi sing eendag? Yes, okay. So yeah, I think my last comment was feel free to ask questions about some stuff that you guys want to learn or grow in yeah, as we are journeying together in this. Okay, so I'll be sending the first I guess practical lesson shortly, which is just going to be getting started. Okay, see you guys then later. God bless. Hi everyone, so yeah, we're going to get started with our first lesson, which is really just a warm-up exercise, an exercise that's going to help you just strengthen your hand, especially your left hand, your and some coordination between your left and your right hand. So think about music as speaking again. You have to understand the mechanics of it, and you have to use your mouth to speak, your tongue, your lips, everything has to work together for you to form speech. So this is I guess part of the mechanics of playing your instrument, and this will help you in so many ways to just play neatly, play tidy, and so that's really the goal. The goal is not to play this as fast as you can. I know that's it does sound cool, the faster you can play it, but the goal is to get this as neat and tidy as you can. So we're going to do this with our trusty friend, the metronome. You can get a metronome on your phone. I use the one Tempo that the App Store has, and yeah, this is really a good friend helping you to just stay on tempo, and you really want to do this exercise with a metronome. So I'm going to start us out. Let's say on 100 beats per minute. So I want you to start out real basic. to start with the first fret and move our way down. And well, let me just play it through. 2, 3, 4. So when I get here, I'm just going to move it up 1 and basically reverse the pattern going up. Alright, again, try and focus on the clarity of the notes and not as much as how fast you can play. So once you can get that down pretty confidently, try playing 2 notes per beat. It's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you'll notice with my my right hand, what I do is called alternate picking. So basically just alternating between up and down, very basic stuff. And another thing you also want to maybe take note of is trying to use smallest possible movements, so that you are most economic with your picking, if that makes sense. And even with your left hand, try not to lift or move it too far out for to play the next note. Maybe how this would look is if I do, kind of like making your movements big. Try and keep your hand in the same place. Try and make your movements small. Just going to help in the long run. Okay, so now I'm going to try just taking the same exercise, but I'm going to play 2 notes per beat and just basically go down again and go up. So just follow the example. Okay, made a bit of a mess there, but you get the idea, right? So once you go back up here, when you've moved up, you can start again by just moving the exercise up a fret every time until you get to the 12th fret. So this is going to keep you busy. It's going to take a good amount of time, and yeah, it's going to help you just coordinate where your hand also goes. Once you get here, your hand is going to have to also compensate for your arm being in a different position. So it helps to play it from the top to the bottom, if that makes sense. So I guess once you have this down, you can attempt to play 4 notes per beat, which is a bit tricky. Yeah, so I'll see if I can do it now. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was yeah, that was a bit sloppy, honestly, but you get the idea, hopefully. So what I want us to do now is just another finger stretching exercise. It's going to help you just to get your fingers even warmed up, stretched out to have them do what you want them to do. So you can start here on the 12th fret. So we can call this exercise inside outside. All right. So literally starting with your pinky on the E string on the 12th fret, and then moving up in a bit of a in a shape like that, if you can see what I'm doing, until this finger is on the D string on the 9th fret. Okay, it's going to sound like this. And so what you're going to do is you're going to play and then just interchange between the fingers on the inside and then the outside, right? Hence the name of the exercise. It looks like this. You can also do this with a metronome. So maybe I'll do it a little bit slower for now. It says 70 beats per minute. So just change the inside, then I change the outside, and then I change the inside again, and then I change the outside again to start where in the original position. So maybe on time. Okay, so again, with this you want neatness, not perfection, and yeah, you want clarity of sound, and not necessarily going fast with this. Once your hand starts to get, once your hand starts to hurt, stop for a moment and just take a break. You don't want to over exercise your hand, trust me on this. So once you can get this down quite nicely, you can move it up into just higher positions in the guitar where the frets are spaced out wider. Just to give you an example, maybe on the 5th fret, I've got my index finger here. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, cool. And then you can end up all the way at the bottom at the F. Let's try. You're gonna feel your hand starting to hurt very soon. Okay, I hope this makes sense, guys. So this is just to kind of get you started, get you going, oh yes, maybe another variation. I'll keep that for next time. Okay, so stay tuned. I'll keep that for next time, guys. Have fun. Yes, well, I just have to help out. Okay, see you guys next time. Enjoy.